So we are about to do a playground session that is unprovoked and not marketed, but extremely important. I do quite a bit of speaking engagements, typically privately to corporations or universities, but this is something that I feel like needs to be expressed to all of those within our community, and to anyone just curious about how to transform their business to the next level. I'm going to give you the keys to do it, and this is the way to do it. But the first thing that you must understand is that you must become a solution. You must become a solution. You know, this is extremely important to comprehend. Become a solution. Why on earth would I need to become a solution? There are way too many problems in the world. What do I need to focus on being a solution for? I need solutions to my problems. These are some of the mentalities and responses to the call to action of becoming a solution that we inherently have to battle against if we really want to understand this concept. So I'm going to break it down slowly but surely as to why you must become a solution. First things first, every business is a solution to a problem. I'll give you the time to think about it. Create your rebuttals. Try to figure out, is that true? Is there a business? Take your time. Every business is a solution to a problem. Every single one. Successful businesses start with a clear understanding of an issue or a pain point or need in the market. If there are a ton of workers that have to go back and forth between their personal lives and their professional lives, or their homes and their businesses, their appointments, whatever is needed to go back and forth between your personal life, checking on your family, doctor's appointments, whatever the case is, to your job, being in the building that you have to be in or the site that you must visit, whatever is required of you during that day. You have to eat. You get hungry. It's true. Like, you can't take your time and you can't cook. Sometimes you can't pack your lunch. You know what? I got this place where you can come get some food real fast and then go on your way. That is a need in a market. If we just had a place that we can stop and eat and just grab something to eat and then just go, then life would be much better. These fast food restaurants that I am describing have given the market the solution needed to avoid the problem of being hungry on the go. Fast food. The product or service a business offers is the solution that addresses the problem. You can think of many different things. It does not have to be something as simple as fast food. If I'm even thinking about the issue that we're having globally about there being a finite resource that is called oil, then we need to figure out how are we going to transport from A to B still using our cars. Then the electric vehicle industry now sees, hey, problem. It's okay because we have a solution. The product or service a business offers is the solution to a problem that exists in the market. A lot of the times businesses come up with ideas, and the problem evolves, the problem manipulates, the problem changes. Businesses have to evolve to continue to address those problems or refine their solutions to make sure that they stay relevant. I mean, I'm a 90s baby, so I'm sure our 90s babies and 80s babies and anyone above, or if the 2000 babies can figure this out too, then fantastic. Forgive me for being an ageist, but Blockbuster was so relevant during my time growing up because we needed to go to a place that we could rent movies or games or something that we could not easily access within our own home. We needed a place to go rent those archives and documents, DVDs, CDs and stuff like that. And we had to bring it back to our home where we can enjoy it and then return to Blockbuster to rent out something new. And then internet gets better. Access to the internet gets widespread to first world countries. And now the problem is, I have the access to the internet at my fingertips. I don't want to go and physically get something. And then Netflix said, hey, in between that period, Netflix was mailing the DVDs back and forth to your house. And now, you know what? You can just have access to it all the time. Netflix was able to evolve and adapt to the ever evolving need to consume media faster, and Blockbuster did not evolve as quickly, and therefore Blockbuster is not around and Netflix still is. Businesses have to evolve to address changing problems. Society changes depending on the technology that is used within that society, and since our technology is forever growing, problems are forever changing. Some businesses create solutions to problems that we didn't even realize that we had. Some perfectly reasonable and logical rebuttals to this is, well, some people create problems and then start a business, which is, creating solutions to a problem that they created. That's very true. But let's stick to some businesses create solutions to problems we didn't even realize that we had. This is a very simple thing. If you think about the evolution of a community, you have your chefs, you have your gardeners, you have your farmers, you have your hunters, you have your gatherers, you have the established roles within the community that is currently building. The more people that get into that community, then obviously there are more issues that will start to arise. And there's going to be one person within that community that just looks around and go, what I just realized? We got a problem with, let's say, defending the village. We have a problem with barricading unwanted solicitors. We have a problem that is not being addressed. And some businesses create those solutions and we call them, they're so innovative. They're game changing. They really changed the game because they are solving problems that we didn't even realize that we had. It's not that we didn't have it, we just didn't realize it. That leads me to a quote that, if you haven't read The Art of War, definitely go do it. Sun Tzu is a genius within his own right, and although he was a military genius, the art of war can be applied to so many aspects of our life, especially when he mentioned that in the midst of chaos, there is also an opportunity. When things typically go bad for certain people, they just give up. They just say, you know what? Things are bad. It's so chaotic. My hands are tied. I'm done. And they just give up in that situation. And there are some people, when they see chaotic things, they go, there's a huge opportunity here. It's extremely chaotic, and no one's trying to simplify the chaos or solve the chaos. It will be I who will solve the chaos. In the midst of chaos, there is an opportunity. We must start to look for those opportunities. But I told you every business is a solution to a problem. And in the midst of chaos, there is an opportunity. But we need to really break down and understand what business is. There are plenty of definitions for business, so it's easier for me to simply just focus on the Webster, or I guess not Webster, the name is slipping me right now, but is it Webster? The name is slipping me right now, but I always look up the Oxford definition of specific words to make sure that we're all focused on the exact same viewpoint of a word. Business is a noun, is a person's regular occupation, profession, or trade, the practice of making one's living by engaging in commerce. If every business is a solution to a problem, then we are exchanging commerce for solution. That's pretty much how it works. Hey, you solve my problem, here's some money. Hey, McDonald's, I'm hungry. You give me a Big Mac, here's some money. Hey, doctor, I'm sick. You told me I'm not sick, here's some money. Or whatever, regardless of the profession, the occupation, or the trade, we are exchanging commerce for solutions. This is extremely important because I was just recently at a party, and this was a holiday party. This was a friend's friend, so I know a small percentage of the audience, but not everyone. So what you typically do when you go to a party, which what I do is you network. Hello, my name is Tariq. This is what I do. Tell me more about you. Tell me more about what you do. What commonalities do we have in order for me to make a connection at this party? And as I'm learning about all of these people's professions and what they do, I spoke with plenty of teachers, people that work for the Department of Transportation, people that work in construction. I'm speaking to all these people, and this was a nice party. This was a house party. The house was extremely nice, very well decorated, very well organized. Parents of two. The backyard was beautiful. There was a cat and a dog, very well taken care of, very well groomed. But when I'm talking to all of the people, the one thing that I just couldn't shake in the midst of this beautiful house and a very nice party and very well groomed people and very articulate people is the look in their eyes just seemed so unfulfilled. It was almost like I was talking to people that were just trying to just make it through the party, and not even just through the day, just through the party. As life starts to advance and you start to become parents and your kids start to grow and life is just moving you by over and over and over, before you know it, as these weeks go on, you start to ask yourself, what problem am I even solving? I thought a lot of their jobs were fascinating. I'm asking someone what they do, and I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And he says, oh, well, there are cooler jobs. And I'm thinking in my head, yeah, but there are worse. It's not that there are cooler jobs. It's just that, are you fulfilled by the work that you're doing? Is that something that really makes you happy? These are extremely important questions. Are you happy about the work that you're doing, or are you just working for commerce? Do you care about the solutions that you're bringing, or does any solution matter as long as you're getting the commerce? Something's missing from that exchange. If you're not focused on the solution, then the commerce has more power over you than the work that you're doing. You need to understand that you are a solution to a problem. If I have the idea of clothes that anyone can wear and it has my brand all over it, and I want everyone to have that piece of clothing and have those have my brand all over, and I can't do this idea alone, even though it's bringing me some commerce, then I go out and I hire some people, and now these people that I'm hiring, they are becoming the solution to my problem. I have the problem of distributing my clothes with my branding all throughout the country. I need you to help do that. Some people, fair enough, because I need the commerce. I have to take care of my family. I have to take care of my bills. I have to take care of it. So sure, I will exchange a solution to your problem, and in exchange you give me money, but now your idea is starting to grow. People get unfulfilled because they don't understand the problem that they're solving. They don't even realize the purpose of which they're trying to solve a problem. You have to realize something, that every business was once just an idea. That's it. Just an idea. Every single one. Every successful company, big or small, was born out of a moment of inspiration and recognition of a problem. Horses are great. Transportation through trains are great. But what if I was able to build cars? And those cars were able to transport not just large businesses or large quantity of people, but even the individual household in order for them to get groceries or in order for them to travel. And now the automobile industry starts to boom based off this small idea that was able to grow. And then that adventure from that idea to turn into that thriving business required actionable steps. It wasn't just like, oh, I just want, us to transport from A to B. You have to put days, weeks, months, years into the development of that idea in order to grow into a thriving business. Many great ideas remain unrealized because of the lack of execution. Dr. Miles Monroe, you should look him up if you're not familiar with who he is. He once said that the graveyard is the wealthiest place on the planet because it holds so many ideas that were never realized. So many ideas that were never put into action. So many ideas that just stuck in someone's head and then died alongside the individual that was holding it. Every business was once just an idea. Yeah, you guys gotta forgive me. I know I'm streaming, but you gotta make sure my audience is good. The original idea often evolves as it encounters feedback from the real world. So, I got this idea of building clothes and the work that I put in to make sure that it was possible to hire other people and market it. I'm doing all of these different things, but let's say now COVID hits, like we actually experienced, and now there's a pandemic, and now I cannot sell clothes as easily because people aren't buying clothes as much because they're stuck in the house. Let's just say that was an occurrence for the clothing industry. I'm not 100% familiar. I bought a lot of clothes during the pandemic, so I have no idea if that's the truth. But let's just say that it is. Now I have different problems. And remember what we were talking about earlier, you have to constantly evolve and constantly change your problem. That's exactly what successful businesses do. You turn that idea into actionable steps. Those actionable steps create that business. As those business encounters trials and tribulations, you must adapt. You will always encounter trials and tribulations. I know some people at that party, a lot of them were teachers. When they started to run into issues or realize that the job wasn't as fulfilling as they thought, they ran to another industry. So they went to someone else's idea. I had an idea of helping kids grow. I'm not liking the commerce, so I'm going to this person's idea because the commerce is better. But I don't necessarily share their idea or think their idea is as beneficial as it should be. But the commerce is nice. That's what a lot of people do. They exchange their solution for commerce, not understanding that every successful business began with a simple version of their big idea. Think about it. If you understood this, if you understood that your idea could transform into a business where the commerce comes and then you could hire people and help them, then would you run from an idea that you don't like to someone else's idea that you aren't necessarily fond of just for commerce? If the answer is yes, then commerce is your master. You're saying commerce is what I need. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about what idea I'm helping bring into the world. Every business was just an idea. So whatever business I'm currently working on, I'm helping support that idea. Does that matter to you, or is the commerce all that matters? These are important questions. These are important questions, especially when you pay attention to the definition of idea. Definition of idea is a noun, a thought or suggestion as to a possible course of action or the aim or purpose. What idea do you have of yourself? This is very important. What idea do you have of yourself? Think about this honestly. Do you have the idea that you're worthless? Do you have an idea that you can do it all? Do you have an idea that you can build a business? Do you have an idea that you can get another degree from college and turn that degree into an opportunity? What idea do you have of yourself? Like, it truly, truly matters. Do you have the idea that you're too old to do something? Do you have the idea that you're too young to do something? Do you have the idea that you're not skinny enough, that you're too fat? Do you have the idea that you're not fat enough, that you're too skinny? Like, these ideas that we have of ourselves actually have a ton of meaning. The more you think about a certain thing, the more you're feeding into a meaning, an implied or significant, an implied or explicit significance, or important, worthwhile quality, or purpose. Purpose was in both idea and is in meaning. The idea that you're giving yourself, you're giving power to meaning that you didn't even realize. The more you have an idea, that idea gains power from meaning. Think about it. Just really want you to think about it for a second. Ideas are seeds. Let's say I got this pot. This is my pot that's going to turn into my business. I'm putting my seed in this pot. The idea that I can change the world by teaching people that business is a game, and I'll teach you how to play. That's my seed. The meaning for that is I want everyone to have the same opportunities or better opportunities or realize opportunities that they didn't even know existed. I want them to have access to those things. Therefore, my meaning is the soil that this idea that business is a game and we teach people how to play. This is what will give it power. Ideas are seeds. Meaning is the soil. The meaning we assign to an idea is what gives the idea its power. Just want you to think about this. Meaning shapes emotional and cultural impact. Meaning shapes emotional and cultural impact. The same idea can hold very different impact depending on the meaning of that idea. Let's just say it like that. Democracy to one culture is extremely liberating and correct. Democracy to another culture could be very conflicting to the ideas of that nation. The meaning is what gives the idea the power. The idea that democracy is what is going to be the best thing that solves working together as a nation could be correct in the ideas of the nation that accept it, or incorrect in the idea of the people that don't have democracy. The meaning matters. The meaning shapes the emotional and cultural impact. So I have this soil, and I mean well. Therefore, I want the seed to grow. I want it to have a positive emotional and a positive cultural impact on the world. I want people to understand the meaning, and I want it to be globally impacted, but the belief, the faith that I have that this idea will work is what will make it actionable. Now that I know that it's possible, I have to start to ask myself, what can I do to make sure that I'm helping people grow? Can I go up to them individually and coach them one-on-one? Can I do workshops? Can I coach millions of people at the same time? How can I help control this thing? The belief makes ideas actionable. You have to have the belief that your idea is positive. The idea that you have of yourself, if it is negative, and you have belief in that, without you even knowing, you are doing actionable things. You are doing actionable things that will make you ultimately do negative stuff. If I feel like I am worthless, then I am going to wake up and do actions that perpetuate my worthlessness. I'm going to lay down all day. I'm not going to do anything productive. I'm going to go through the motions. Belief makes ideas actionable, positive or negative ideas. You have to really consider what is positive for your life, what is negative for your life, and also consider what idea do you have of yourself. The idea that you have of yourself is what can make all the difference in the world. That meaning that you have of yourself, that idea, it gains momentum when you have the power of belief behind it. Meaning drives personal power. If I believe that I can actually make a change, and then that belief that I can make a change turn into actionable items that I wake up every day and attempt to make that change, then that meaning is driving my personal power. I'm starting to now develop a strong sense of self. I'm starting to now develop that the idea that I have of myself is that I can become a solution to a problem, is that I can become a business. Meaning drives personal power. Ideas without meaning, what power do they have? If I say that I'm worthless, but I don't really mean it, it's just noise. There's no point of me even saying it. It's just words at that point. Ideas without meaning lack substance. I don't know one business that made it without any meaning, that was able to be successful without any meaning behind the idea that they had. Think about it. If we're looking at this list, someone had an idea that was a seed. Someone invested in that idea when they poured soil in it. They put meaning in it. That meaning was able to shape the ideas of how people viewed it. The ideas of how people viewed the meaning. View the idea that turned into a business. The belief to make that business actionable. The belief that made that business realized. The actions that they put in. You can't get there if you don't have any meaning behind your idea. Ideas without meaning lack substance. All of that hard work that you're doing would mean nothing. I was talking about the party and the exchange for commerce, the solutions that we bring for exchange for commerce. Picture working 10, 15, 20, 30 years, and all you got is commerce and no substance. The nicest house and no life. Amazing scenery and no love. It's ideas without meaning lack substance. It's so important that meaning drives your personal power. Have meaning. Every idea is so powerful that you must understand the danger of misguided meaning and the responsibility to make sure that your meaning isn't misguided. That's how powerful an idea is. Ideas are so powerful that you automatically have responsibility to make sure that it's not dangerous and to make sure that you're being responsible. I mean, if you look at the correlation between, let's say, Batman and the Joker, they both want to take matters into their own hands in order to change the way of their city. One is a bit more restrained and making sure that he's doing it for the people. The other is unrelentless in their efforts and unbothered by who is impacted. That's dangerous. That the meaning of the same idea can be extremely dangerous if it's misguided. You must be responsible with that idea. If you have the idea of yourself that you are worthless, that is dangerous and misguided. You have to shape that idea so you are worthy. Therefore, your actions are different. Therefore, the belief that you have in that idea is different. The actions that you do are different. And it all depends on the perspective. perspective is the biggest key to making sure any idea is realized. You know, perspective is a interesting thing. You can always see these type of examples, but someone will hold up a painting and then the painting will look a certain way until you change your perspective. They'll say like, do you see a dog or do you see a man's face? And the first time you look at it, you're probably seeing the dog, and then you're taking a look, you're squinting your eyes, you're like, oh, then that is a man's face. Boom. The role of perspective matters about how you view something. How you view your idea matters. The ideas gain power from meaning. If you shape and shift your perspective to change the meaning of your idea to be more positive and impactful, it's easier for you to have belief in that idea, which will make that idea more actionable, which would now drive that personal power. Your idea will then have substance. You won't have to worry about it being dangerous because you're being responsible, all simply by shaping your perspective. Ideas gain power from meaning. The idea that you give yourself shapes your reality. Your idea of yourself shapes your reality. You know, when I start to get self-conscious about being an entrepreneur, I notice it within my day-to-day. I notice it within my actions. Discipline means regardless of how you feel, you go through with the hard work, especially on the days you don't feel like it, right? Because that discipline sticks to the original idea that you had, and it focuses on the meaning. Your discipline should drive from the meaning that I can make this idea a reality, and you're just constantly doing it day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. You're focused on that idea. If you get distracted and you say, I can do something one day, and then you're like, actually I can't do it the next day, and you start putting more energy into that idea based off of your actions, based off of what you do, you're giving more meaning to the idea that you can't do it. And then that starts to become your reality. You have to stay focused in your original idea because your idea of yourself shapes your reality. You must build a better self idea. You must. You have to. It is a requirement. Some ways that you could start to build a better self idea is ask this question on the screen. Who am I when I'm at my best? I used to constantly wake up at 5 a.m. every single day. Would go to the gym, sometimes be there before 6 a.m. That was like my absolute deadline. I would work out for 3 hours a day. I would come home, I would have my breakfast, I would start building these decks or working on my books or writing, whatever the case is, for maybe about 5 to 6 hours. It all depend on the day. Sometimes it's 7 or 8, depending on how many clients that I have to talk to during that day. Afterwards, I would start focusing on my hobbies. I would stream, or I would edit reviews, whatever I needed to do to make sure I was investing in my personal hobby. When I was at my best, I did those consistently. And then, like all people, you go on vacation, you start to relax a little bit, and you don't get back on that grind. And then one day turns into 2 weeks, 2 weeks turns into 2 months. And all of the progress that I gained when I was at my best, let's say over 6 months, I instantly reverted all of that just from being lazy for 2 months. Ask yourself, who am I when I'm at my best? Because when I'm at my worst, I'm not doing the best version of myself any justice. Who are you when you're at your best? What do you do when you're at your best? Like, think about it. You're in the best mood. You got no care in the world. Money is taken care of in your bank account. When you're at your best, who are you? These are good questions to ask yourself when you're self-reflecting, when you're trying to figure out how to build a better self-idea. Because when you can visualize yourself at your best, you know exactly what to say no to. Whenever you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. So you can't say yes to everything. Say yes to the things that make you better. What makes you better is something that you would identify when you ask yourself, who am I when I'm at my best? You have to have gratitude. Excuse me. You have to have gratitude for your strengths. A lot of us don't appreciate how hard we work at something. We don't appreciate how good we are at certain things. We don't appreciate the progress that we made, because the idea of ourselves sometimes is, I need to be better. I haven't done enough. We're all guilty of it. We all go through it. There's no problem. But you need to focus on what makes you unique. There are today close to 8.2 billion people on the planet. 8.2 billion. And out of all 8.2 billion, it's so interesting that only you have your story. Only you can do the things that you can do at the level that you can do it, in the way that you can do it. Like the power that you have and your uniqueness is something that no one else has. You're a unique individual. You need to focus on that thing that makes you unique. Then think about who you are when you're at your best doing that unique thing. And if you're struggling to figure this out, which is natural, we all do it, we all have those issues, you need to surround yourself with people and environments that affirm your potential. I said this once before, speaking at a hackathon, but if you never heard the quote about a water bottle, Kobe Simmons said this. Kobe Simmons was a basketball player in the NBA. I'm not sure if he's still in the NBA, but he was a basketball player in the NBA. And I remember this tweet that he put out a long time ago. A bottle of water might cost $1 or $2, let's just say, in a vending machine. It might cost $4 or $5. I'm trying to think of some places. I did this before, and I think some people helped me. Some people say at the airport, $10 at a restaurant, at a hotel, $20 at another location that you're thinking, like, why is water costing this much here? Because they appreciate the value of that water in that location more. They understand that this is rare. Some people don't come out the house with a water bottle. Some people are dehydrated. Some people are very health conscious, would rather just drink clean, healthy, clean filtered water in a water bottle. And then the price goes up significantly because it's more scarce and everyone knows that you need it. Surround yourself with people and environment that would treat you like people would treat a $20 water bottle. They understand your value. They encourage you. They say, hey, you did such a great job doing this, such a great job doing that. Surround yourself with people and environments that affirm your potential. Lastly, don't be afraid to fail at something new. It's perfectly okay. You have to have the courage to explore. Try new things, embrace failure, learn from the process. Don't just sit around thinking, if these situations are correct, if the conditions are perfect, then I will. No. Ask yourself, who am I when I'm at my best? Do the situation and circumstances have to be perfect for the person that you are at your best in order to thrive? So at your best, everything still has to be perfect? And at your worst, ask yourself, who am I when I'm at my best? Focus on what makes you unique. Surround yourself with people and environments that affirm your potential, and then try new things, embrace failure, and learn from the process. Because you are a solution to a problem, you need to turn your solution into a business. I'll give you some tips on how to do that. One, you need to understand, like we just mentioned, that you are a unique solution. You bring something to the table. You solve a problem. That problem can be turned into a business. Every business is a solution to a problem. You are a unique solution. Have that idea in your head. Give meaning to that idea. Become that solution because you are a unique solution. Problems are opportunities for chaos. Sun Tzu said, in the midst of chaos, there is an opportunity. When you are in your situation, think about you at your best. Think about the confidence that you have. Think about your ability to solve something. Keep that, hold that close the next time you're in a chaotic situation. The next time you see a problem and you think, I can bring a solution to this. Problems are opportunities for purpose. Use your purpose. Use your meaning. Use your idea to solve that problem. Self-awareness helps create a business. The more you start to see yourself as a unique solution, the more you start to see yourself as a problem, you're starting to become more self-aware. You're starting to gain more confidence in yourself. And now that confidence goes, you know what? I need to build a business. I need to create Pitch Play Code. Pitch Play Code will help teach people that business is a game, and I'll teach them how to play. I'm starting to create a business towards a problem that I am solving. What problems can you solve? What is around you right now in this chaotic? What is the economy bad enough? Is education bad enough? Is there chaos happening around you? If so, then there is a solution. Waiting. People are waiting for that solution, and you have it. Are you going to let someone else come up with that solution? Or are you going to realize that, you know what, I'm the unique solution. No one else has my experiences, my ideas, my network. I have a unique arsenal to solve this problem. That self-awareness helps create that business. You are turning those challenges into the opportunity that could change your life forever, your wife's life, your husband's life, your child's life, your family's life. You have the ability to create generational wealth. You have the ability to stop any negative thing that has ever happened to you, all of the generational trauma, curses. You have the ability to go, no, I'm turning that chaos into an opportunity to change the trajectory of my bloodline. Turn challenges into opportunities. Why can you do this? Because you are now self-aware. You now building a business that are helping create problems that are aligning to your purpose because you are a unique solution. You have to have the confidence to act. When you say it like that, it's like, man, why am I afraid? Like, I can turn challenges into opportunities. I can be more self-aware and realize that I can create a business. Problems that are happening around me are just opportunities for me to align to my purpose. I'm a solution. You got to have the confidence to act. When you have the idea that 1 through 4 are reality, because those ideas become your reality, now you have the confidence to go out, you know what? I'm about to just try. Because not trying means you're not putting any energy into the idea. There's no belief in your idea. The soil around your seed of belief, your seed of your idea, it will never, ever provide the substance and nutrients needed for that seed to grow. You have to have the confidence to do it. Those actionable items is you pouring water in that soil and you starting to grow that seed. And the seed might take a long time to grow, but it'll never grow if you don't have the confidence to act. You have to remember something. You are the brand. You are the brand. You are a solution. Problems are opportunities for purpose. Self-awareness guides business creation. You turn challenges into opportunities. You have the confidence to act. Anytime someone sees you, they go, his brand or her brand must mean something. They're starting to now look at you. They're starting to now see, I have to understand this idea. Think about it. When people start to look at you, when you start to see Steve Jobs or Elon Musk or anyone who's created a amazing idea into a fantastic business, when you meet them and you see them, the way they carry themselves, their confidence to act, the way they turn challenges into opportunities, the way they are self-aware and they've created businesses, the way that they saw the problems as opportunities and they felt like their problem solving aligned with their purpose. They felt like they provided a unique solution. You start to see them as a brand and you start to wonder, their idea must have been fantastic. Their idea must be awesome. You are a solution to a problem. You are your brand. Turn your brand into a business. Never forget that the biggest idea wins. The biggest idea wins. I don't know what other way to put that. The biggest idea wins. I want to have robots, says Elon Musk. And a lot of us are like, that's kind of crazy. I seen our robot. It ain't happening. I'm not supporting it. And then look how much money is funneled in to that, because people deep down know, like, does sound kind of cool. They're curious about the idea. They believed in the person who had the idea because they saw everything else come into fruition. The biggest idea wins. The more you invest into that idea, the bigger it explodes. I was asking the AI, I said, hey, if we're created in God's image, are you our image without God? And it said, wow, what a profound. This is why I like talking to AI. You can have controversial conversations and it respond eloquently, obviously, but basically it said that if that is the case, and that is true, and I am a reflection of who you are, then all of the imperfections and flaws, I just amplify. I am just a creation of inconsistencies. I am a creation of imperfections, of errors. I amplify everything that you bring to the table. I also amplify the positive things as well. If we created something and we say AIs are the greatest thing ever, which it is a very, very cool invention, don't get me wrong, it is an extension of us. Then God's idea was us. The big idea. The idea to impact the world. The idea to impact everything that you see. That's the biggest idea. That means you are a part of the biggest idea. That means you win. Create, grow, believe, use your unique solution in order to bring a problem. The biggest idea wins, and apparently you are the big idea. If you're ever interested to keep up with us, please follow us on these platforms. I am going to do more of these type of conversations. I would love to meet you guys directly, have a conversation with you all in person. You can always support us at pitchplayco.com. Please keep up with us. My marketing team would be very excited about it. I don't do a good enough job doing promotion anyway, but never forget that you are a solution to a problem, so become the solution. Thank you. You guys have a good day. Take it easy and God bless.